work on Discord. I found that quite interesting. Sounds like I wasn't looking at Discord the right way from the beginning. Welcome to the ramblings of the FreeWi, and that stands for French and Kiwi, and that's me. I'm your host, Jean-Philippe DIEL. In this podcast, I document my entrepreneurship journey with SymbionIQ. That's SymbionIQ with an I and a Q at the end. I talk about the latest technology trends. I talk about health and fitness wearables, the Metaverse, Web3, the blockchain, NFTs. I talk about, most importantly, data privacy and ownership, which I think are critical in that space. So if you're interested in what we're doing, please subscribe and click like to help the algorithm up. And without further ado, let's dive in. A lot of things have happened since I last recorded the last episodes, and I've been sort of toying with how I'm going to present this and the right formats for podcasts. I took some advice from a few friends who are specialized in this sort of podcast making game on how to be sort of punchy, interesting, how to explain up front what the topics are going to be and what I'm going to be discussing. Hopefully I can make this a bit more interesting for you and not a little bit less rambling, a little bit more interesting talk. Heaps has happened, as you would imagine in a startup business when you start such a journey building a new business. I recorded this, I think the pilot probably was early stages of it's been 4 or 5 months already, pretty much. And in this 4 or 5 months period, I've done a lot of different things, like of course, like I explained before, this idea of building SymbionIQ Labs is not a new idea. It's been in my brain for 7 years, and this is reboot number 3. And the context around technology and blockchain and health and fitness wearables, all of that has kind of moved a lot, and not in a way that, which is what they sort of invited me to reboot this, not in a way that would compromise what we're trying to do, but in a way that goes in the right direction. So it kind of validated the fact that I felt I was really early in the piece and with the right ideas, because those ideas have confirmed themselves and become more and more sort of interesting. And so since the inception of the first pilot, recording about this and the 2-3 episodes that came after, I've put the team together. In New Zealand, I had biomechanics engineers sort of penciled in from 2015, and I kept that conversation going. And I reconnected a few people that I'd been working with, previously as sort of network ops or full stack dev. And I've kind of got them on board as contractors. Of course, I'd want to be able to hire people full time, and I'd give jobs, but this is a startup business, and you've got to think clean, and then you've got to think efficient. So I don't want to make promises that I can't keep. So I've taken everyone on board as contractors. It simplifies my admin life as well at this stage because I don't have an admin resource. So they do their own taxes, they do their own stuff. They invoice me every 20th of the month for a number of hours that they worked on. We find sort of collaborative tools. We started working with Jira, with sort of Slack, and then I moved the team to Discord recently. And we have 2 Discord servers, one for sort of front-end consumer facing, and that's not live yet, but it's kind of it's there, it's built, and it will be where we onboard the community and talk about what we're building and answer questions and do maybe video sessions and AMAs and things like that. So that tool's there, but we've onboarded the team to work on Discord. I found that quite interesting. Sounds like I wasn't looking at Discord the right way from the beginning. I kind of looked at Discord. I've lived through the times of IRC chat and all these things, and so it looked really old fashioned to me, and like a sort of multiple chat rooms kind of place and chats. It's kind of all I understood about it, and it's way more than that. It took a while for me to kind of unveil and understand what else I could do with Discord. A guy I connected to who's running a Web3 sort of shop. A very, very interesting guy. I won't give names here, but he kind of showed me their Discord and how they were working, and I saw all these virtual offices and sort of walkie-talkie rooms, chat rooms, audio and conference. And I thought, wow, this is cool. And he said to me, this is like a virtual building. And then everybody's got a door, and we just walk into, each other's doors, and like you would knock on a physical door and you talk to that person, and they're working, they're inside. And I'm like, this is cool. This is really cool. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Because, when we work with teams that are remote, we of course have collaboration tools, but it's all like you log on and then you have to agree to log on at one time in one place to be able to see each other and talk. But so impromptu, it doesn't exist because you feel like you might be disturbing people. But if you are live in a Discord channel and then one can see that you're live in your channel, it's like your virtual office. Well, we know you're there, and then we can knock on the door and say, hey, by the way, I wanted to ask you something. And if you're not there, then you're not there. You're not working and you don't want to be disturbed. So that's what suddenly makes it really interesting with Discord and compared to other tools, is this sort of virtualization of a physical space. And it's funny how technology sometimes it's just a matter of perspective, and a lot of those tools just do what they all do the same thing. They all kind of do the same thing. There's a slight different angle, a slight different take on how they do it, and if it connects to where your brain is at and how you want to use things, then that's what makes it suddenly valuable, and that's good learning for us as well in what we're building. So yeah, in the short span of 5 months, short being relative, I've we came back from Europe after the Metaverse Summit. We sort of changed gear and sort of built the plan, hired the team, worked on all these things to bring everyone on board, collaboration tools. And I had our first meeting and sort of said, kickstart, this is what we're building, this is what we want to do, and let's put some steps together. And I've asked the team to kind of, each in their side, sort of define what their job is and how they would see the different steps pan out. Just make their own plan and deadlines and milestones and everything like that. So that's been really good. And so we've already started building the app. We've got 3D environment created, different UI elements. We've mapped out the whole wireframe of the UI. I'm working on the platform now, and a bunch of other things to make sure that we've got it all sort of done. And our goal is to deliver an MVP for the application, and say about end of March, April sort of target. And why this target? Because we've got a runway about a year, sorry, with the funds that we've got. And although I'm applying for government funding and sort of R&D support and things like that, the reality is that money just is a lot and not a lot as well. So it'll just fly out. And getting stuff done sometimes, and I am nimble. I'm trying to sort of scratch corners wherever I can, but it needs to be done. So we are spending, and so I'm looking at the burn rate, sorry, and I think the same pain as other startups in my position, I suppose. Wondering, how long I'm going to survive this, and the goal is to survive as long as we can. And hopefully pull it all the way out to the first customer or some sort of customer that will help us build. So even if it's a little bit discounted, a customer that is a development sort of a client. and it can give us some feedback and help us improve upon the UI and the experience, etc. So yeah, and then my brain's working on on one side it's projecting the future and looking at product development and at platform and how I want or I would like everything to be structured, sort of blue sky, and then from that blue sky picture, sort of trim down what the MVP of that will be and what we can sort of go with now and what will have to come later in terms of extra features or things that are a bit more costly to build or not so necessary at the beginning. And then I'm looking at my role on the marketing and sales side, at the same time. So I'm really just a marketing guy. Even though I love product development and I'm really having fun with UI and 3D design and things like that. Um, I have to think about how to sell this thing, especially if we've got a fundraise. Um, and so I'm looking at a calendar of events, and the goal of the first half of the year is to get on the map. Get on the map. It's physically talk to people, network with them, connect them, LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, whatever channel really, and then get them to know what we're building. Have some early conversations and get on the map of potential VCs. People could be partners to build, and also network with blockchain developers. I feel while the team we have is extremely interested and eager to learn the Web3 side, they're essentially Web2 guys. And so they need to learn, how to work with smart contracts and things like that. So I'm kind of the one in there that has done the most sort of research in how blockchain stuff works. And the stack we want to use, and we're looking at, Ethereum, Polygon, and, building on top of Lens protocol and things like that. And we're looking at other stacks, projects like Millions, or I'm looking at Ocean Protocol, or a bunch of different things, really. So very, very interesting projects out there. And then we're looking at how things connect with each other. And then we don't need to rebuild or rethink, or maybe we just fork some stuff. Maybe we just branch off, or we work with them. It's also interesting how to partner and ride their way a little bit. That can help with publicity and the credibility of the project. So I'm looking at that as well. So that's been the last 5 months, really, sort of looking at all this and setting it up. We're off flying. So I'm now planning my first conference at East Denver, 24th February, March. This is going to date this episode. We are somewhere in January now. So it's about a month away. And they're just getting ready and trying to understand the beast that East Denver is. It's quite a big conference. So I just want to make the most of it, and networking with VCs, partners, Web3, the funding opportunities, DAOs, the likes of Orange DAO, Gitcoin, or all these people who are doing projects, Web3 project funding, see how and which one we could or should be using, and how to connect with developers, and maybe find a match or someone who really likes what we're trying to do, and wants to be part of it. So that's it in a nutshell. So well, thanks for hanging on and watching this podcast, The Ramblings of the FreeWi. The guy in the car keeps rambling away about technology and building his startup. I hope it's valuable to you. Please leave some comments under and things that you'd like to see or hear about, or if you've got questions. I would obviously love to answer that. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to find out more, please go to SymbionIQ.com. There you'll find all the socials and the different ways you can follow us. In the meanwhile, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, help the algorithm by clicking like. And if you want to make some comments, please don't hesitate. I'll try to read everything and answer everyone. If you find this interesting, don't hesitate to share it with a colleague or a friend. That always helps spread the word. And that's all for me today. So see you in the next episode.